Maybe an unpopular opinion, but working in it has taught me that people are generally really dumb. My favorite is when a user is showing me a problem and a dialog box pops up and they click to dismiss it as quickly as possible, as if it were whack-a-mole in the way of their task. And I'm like, what did it say? And they can't tell me, so we do it again and it pretty much tells them what they did wrong. I think it is more a topic of willingness to read and understand the crazy stuff we tell them. Most times you drop a mail with an announcement of change 80%, just ignore it. That's not an unpopular opinion in IT, it's status quo. There is a reason we have ID10T errors and pepcock acronyms. Misinformation in PCMR. 925 watts and 160 is insane. I'm actually surprised it took a year start melting like that. Guy definitely wanted to be featured in a YouTuber's VID and maybe score a free card, lol. Well done op, nice catch. All federal agencies ordered to terminate remote work ideally within 30 days. Us agencies wasting billions on empty offices, an embarrassment, RTO memo says. If we are trying to eliminate wasteful spending, selling these off sounds a lot more efficient than forcing people into office spaces that aren't needed. Great. I don't want to see any admin time on Trump's schedule going forward. And no golf outings on work time. Bro, the raw resentment I would have if I worked for government as a remote worker and was forced by presidential mandate to return to the office. I would probably quit, but that's probably low-key the goal: push people out, bring more people on the same page in. Using the offices doesn't produce any additional gains, so you're still wasting billions on offices you don't need, whether people are in them or not. Sell or lease the office spaces if you want savings. This is either completely stupid or someone is getting paid somehow over it. So why not let the buildings go? They have to do the infrastructure, spend on the technology that allows remote work anyway. And we know the heads of the agencies won't be at their desks. Bill to ban mRNA vaccines passes out of House committee. Should be noted this is in the Montana State House, not the US Congress. Didn't Trump just have a bunch of tech people talk about using AI to create mRNA vaccines? Didn't this coincide with Project Stargate? Weren't mRNA vaccines created under Trump's Project Warp Speed? We truly are the stupidest people in history. Jeep introduces pop-up ads that appear every time you stop. LOL, what mouth breather executive came up with this idea? Jesus, why can't we just exist without being advertised to? I can't wait to hear about how instead of removing the feature entirely, I bet they'll just implement a small fee to remove the ads paid for every month, of course. Pro tip: if you don't stop for red lights, the ads won't play. Drink verification can to continue. TikTok ban fueled by Israel, not China. The only thing that brings Dems and Repubs together is Israel, so not surprising that this bipartisan ban was backed by that. Which one of you dense asshats thought China was behind banning its own propaganda tool? How is this news? Surprised? I think not. The ADL had a campaign on TikTok to squash any pro-Palestine stuff. Not one of the PCs in my school IT class has the HDMI connected to the GPU, 4060. Guarantee it's on purpose. Programs, guessing CAD and Photoshop, they're actually used for can still use the GPU not plugged into a monitor, and that way people aren't gaming on them instead of doing work. It guy does this so kids wouldn't play on them. Decentralized social media is the only alternative to the tech oligarchy. The net was cool when there were only nerds and geeks. No, social media is a pretty strong alternative. The 5080 is the worst uplift in performance for any 80 class in the last 15 years. It's not even close. Blender 4.3. Intel syndrome. Nvidia knows they command the vast majority of the market, so they're maximizing their profits by not releasing bleeding-edge hardware. We can only hope that Intel and AMD provide better competition to get them back on track. That's because, and say it with me, it's a 5070, smiley face. This is because the entire card is similar to how the new iPhones are. Technically the only new features are AI related. This wasn't a card built on raw power / performance increases. It was built for processing / creating and supporting AI features and software. Trump orders USDA to take down websites referencing climate crisis. It's kind of amazing to watch an entire administration run the US government based off of "I don't like that." Leadership at its finest. Burn science books next. Get rid of history books and fascism might not look bad. Ban eggs and he won't have to hear about the cost. Lie, deny, ignore, and deflect, characteristics of a great leader. Good idea, pretending something doesn't exist makes it magically go away, /s. Got lucky at Micro Center. Think you have enough fans in your case? Might be able to squeeze in one or two more. I think you accidentally dropped a PC in your fans. It's not a scalper, woohoo. Doge as a national cyber attack. Though we gave him right access accidentally is proof of how amateur this whole thing is. These are some of the most critical and secured, or should be, systems we have, and they want to say they made the stupidest mistake possible with them. I know he had it on purpose. Their excuse just makes it seem even worse. In the span of just weeks, the US government has experienced what may be the most consequential security breach in its history, not through a sophisticated cyber attack or an act of foreign espionage, but through official orders by a billionaire with a poorly defined government role. And the implications for national security are profound. Chromebooks returned end of year. I'll thundercunt your grandmother, lol. At least the last one looks pretty. Of course the HP has a hinge problem. Was it hard finding out about your mom this way? Someone is brave. I hope they didn't leave their GPU in the slot. Case card boxes are excellent for other stuff too. It could just be a recycled box for something completely different. Like and subscribe.